Good morning all. Here we are for our second class online. For today's class you're going to need a belt and your bricks. Remember, if you don't have a normal yoga belt, please get yourself a narrow long scarf, or I'm sure all of you have a belt in some form or another. It's not going to necessarily need complications. And take your bricks, bring them one behind the other, or if you need to sit higher, take one on top of the other and come and sit for Svastikasana. Taking the feet away from the hips so that you describe as best possible a straight line through the shin bones from one knee to the other, allowing the knees to settle ultimately onto the inner edges of your feet. Draw the buttock flesh back so that you expose the knuckles of the buttock bones and bring the palms together into Atmanjali Mudra. Straighten the spine, close your eyes and relax, release your shoulders broadly down the back body. The shoulder blades settling onto the back ribs. The skin of the upper buttocks releasing down into the support that you've taken. Bring your awareness down to that base of the pose, feeling the firmness, the grounded, the earthness of the buttocks into that support, so that there's this rebounding action of the spine easing upwards into lightness, lift, length, right from the pelvic floor to the base of the skull. And allow that length, that lift to follow the inhalation. So as you breathe in all the way up, spiraling through the spinal column from the base of the pose to the base of the skull. Allowing the out-breath to broadly release down the back body through the upper buttocks into the support. Smooth inhalation, spiraling upwards. Smooth exhalation, releasing downwards. And having settled your awareness in the breath, we're going to chant silently, internally, the three Oms, allowing the A to begin below the navel, resonating, vibrating in the abdominal cavity, the U to rise upwards, resonating, vibrating in the thoracic cavity, the M to rise upwards, resonating, vibrating in the head cavity. So exhale completely. Have a full inhalation. And now with your next three exhalations, silently chanting Om. Bow your head to your heart and make your own inner acknowledgements. And for today, maybe setting up an intention for your practice, your sankalpa, your intention. Maybe making this intention a sense of inner contentment in this external chaos, disruption, allowing the internal body to remain content, joyful. Release your hands onto your inner knees, raise your head, Open your eyes. We're going to start off this morning. Before I even do the practice, I've brought along one of my cushions just to demonstrate to you so that you can establish that visualization. How when this cover of the cushion is open, there's a sense of space there. But when I draw this rhythm together, how there's a sense of gathering that part of the cushion all into one place. So it comes together, a sense of connectedness there. We're going to do the same sort of thing, visualizing that as I draw my shoulders down my back and I start to draw the muscles together into this space, as if they're coming into that area that, as most of you know, I so often refer to in our practice, the dorsal thoracic. Because not only does that bringing in of that area, the capacity to bring that in, open the heart center horizontally in front of us, but what it also does is it allows the shoulders, the upper shoulders, to relax, and you engage the lower trapezius muscles. When we engage these upper trapezius, this area that we've gathered can't get involved. So we want to relax the upper shoulders to get that lower trapezius area to involve. So come off your support, cross your legs, Svastikasana, facing towards a wall. If you're not close to a wall, you're welcome to take yourself a chair. But once more, if you need to sit higher, please do. But taking your hands up the wall or up the arms of the chair so that you get a sense of the arms coming up. Settle your hands onto the wall in this case. Retract those upper arms into the shoulder socket and release your shoulders broadly down the back body. And then come to that visualization that I've just demonstrated of allowing the shoulders to release down the back and drawing that ribbon into this dorsal thoracic area. So these lower back ribs that I'm always referring to in class, so that the energy flows horizontally, opening, softening the heart center, and lifting the sternum to the sternal notch. Broaden your collarbones, broaden your shoulders, dig that dorsal into the back body and relift your sternum. And just from there, bring the head to neutral. So the back of the neck eases up off the top of the shoulders. The base of the skull eases up off the top of the spine. And there's a sense of quietness, sattva, that's inner contentment in the head space, in the brain, in the mind. Come back to your breath awareness, breathing up the sternum as you inhale, breathing down from the shoulders to the dorsal thoracic as you exhale, making that upper back strongly concave. Come up. Change the cross of your legs to the other way, settling the knees, the buttocks. Once more, fold forward to your capacity. If you find that the upper back tends to round like this, sit yourself up onto a support. You'll find the higher you raise your buttocks, the easier it'll be to get that front body lift. Come back to the breath, breathing in up the sternum bone. Pause as you spread the collarbones, the shoulders, the upper shoulder blades. Breathe down into that dorsal thoracic. So here, space for the chest to breathe. Can you lengthen? Can you broaden? Can you extend your breath? Opportunities to appreciate the breath. Find joy, contentment in the breath. And then inhale As you exhale, come sitting up. From there, we're going to go into Adho Uttanasana with that same awareness. So part your feet, hip width. Find the distance so that your hands come into the firmness of the wall, the heel of the palm in line with your shoulders, in line with your outer hips. Once more, if you find that the back, this dorsal thoracic pops up, there will be tension in the upper shoulders. Rather, bring your hands higher and then step your feet a little further forward. More importantly is this concave awareness, that drawstring in the upper back. Press through the palms, retract the upper arms into the shoulder socket. Broadly spread the side ribs forward to your hands as you release your shoulder blades, your upper buttocks back. Heels firmly down as you draw the knees, the thighs up. Breathe. Inhaling up the front body, exhaling down the back body, settling that dorsal into the back. And from there, release, come up. From here, you're going to step forwards and have your feet about 2 of your feet's distance from the wall. Feet same as they were for Uttanasana. Bend your knees and take the head down, putting that space of the dorsal thoracic onto the wall. So you might need to be a little further back, but allow yourself to lean into the wall. You can see I'm not standing so much on my legs as resting into the wall. Now, shoulders relaxed, dorsal into the back. Start to straighten your legs up as you allow the head to descend. Keep your awareness in that drawstring area, moving it into the back. Can you bring your arm up and over your head? Push your hand in and feel, is there an awareness there? Take the other one hand down, take the other hand up. Concave upper back. Let the head just drop off like threads from that dorsal thoracic. From there, come up. Take your hands to the floor, bend your legs, step your feet back, Adho Mukha Savasana. Bend your knees, tip your buttocks to the ceiling and lengthen from your arms through the side ribs to the outer hips. Shoulders up the back body, dig that dorsal into the back. Make your upper back concave. Keep that concavity of the upper back even as you descend your heels. If you can't straighten your legs, rather keep the legs bent, but keep that dorsal into the back. Concave upper back. So if it pops up, keep your knees bent and bring that dorsal into the back. For those of you that can, root the heels down, draw the buttocks higher. Remember the awareness last week of the front thighs moving back as you lengthen pubis to sternum. Now you want to add that dorsal thoracic into the back to lengthen the sternum more to the sternal notch. Ears in between the upper arms. Breathe. Bend your knees. Adho Mukha Virasana. Keep your arms extended, pressing the hands, scrubbing them forward, shoulders away from the ears, dorsal into the back. So keep coming back to that intention of the heart center opening. And that happens from this moving into the back. Come sitting up and come standing up in Tadasana. Feet together. And now bring your bricks and put them onto the back edge of your mat. We're going to do a few standing poses. Bring your feet together, root down through all 4 points of the soles of the feet. And just like you were grounding your buttocks in Svastikasana, allow those 4 points of the feet to feel like the buttock bones descending as the arches of the feet, the bones of the legs, the muscles of the legs ascend. Draw the spine upwards all the way to the base of the skull. Shoulders broadly down the back body as you extend into the tip of the fingers. Be as firm, as stable as a mountain. Tadasana. Bring your fingertips to touch. As you inhale, bend your knees. Jump, please. Back issues, high blood pressure, knee issues. Don't jump. Step your feet wide. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right leg out. Roll the whole of this right inner thigh out so that your right knee faces directly over your right foot. Look if you need to. Inhale, relax your shoulders, gather that drawstring together, and on the exhalation, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Firm up the legs by pressing those 4 points of the feet into the floor. Draw the energy up through the bones of the legs, the thighs. And now from that drawstring, turn the whole of your neck, spine, head, look up at your left fingertips. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left leg out. Root down through those 4 points of the soles of the feet. Draw the thighs, the bones up. Inhale, and on the exhalation, Utthita Trikonasana to the left. Use the webbing between the thumb and the index finger to rest over the shin bone. Check for a moment. Have you rolled this left inner thigh fully out so that the knee faces over the foot? Root down through those 4 points of the feet. Draw the energy up through the legs. From that gathered dorsal thoracic, turn your head, your neck, look up at your right fingertips. Breathe. Breathing in through the spinal column as it spirals upwards, breathing out. Shoulders broadly down the back body. Inhale, come up, turn your feet to face forwards, jump your feet together. Tadasana. Utthita Padottanasana, right angle bend. Bring your fingertips to touch. Inhale, jump the feet wide. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right leg out by pressing into the heel and rotating right from this inner thigh. Check the knee facing over your right foot. Compact your outer hips. Press firmly into that outer edge of the left foot. Bend your right leg into the right angle. Lengthen the right side of the trunk. If the hand can possibly come to the floor, do so. Otherwise, there's your brick, taking your hand onto the vertical, onto the horizontal brick. Reach into your left fingertips, rotate that arm in its armpit and take it up and over your left ear. Stand firmly into those 4 points of the soles of the feet. Scoop your right buttocks into the body. Gather that thread into the dorsal spine and turn your head, your neck. Inhale, swing the arm up, come up. Turn to face forwards, exhale. Turn your right toes in, turn your left heel out. So for today, the heel's going to be more aligned with the heel of the back leg. Press firmly down into all 4 points of the feet. Inhale, and on the exhalation, bend your left leg, using your brick if needs be. Otherwise, coming down. If you find that this front leg is not in a right angle, adjust from your back leg, stepping the back foot in, stepping the back foot out. But ensure that the shin vertical, the thigh horizontal. Rotate that right arm in the armpit, taking your right arm up and over your ear. Scoop your left buttocks into the body as you press your left knee into your left upper arm. Gather that dorsal thoracic into the back and turn your head, your neck. Inhale, and on the exhalation, come up. Turn your feet to face forwards, arms up and overhead into Urdhva Hastasana. Press all 4 points of the feet into the floor. Draw your knees, your thighs firmly up. And as you hinge forward, keeping the arms up, move your front thighs back, reaching your hands as far forward as you can. Lengthen from the pubis through the sternum to the collarbones. Shoulders down the back body. Even if you're here and you're at the right angle, then bring your hands under your shoulders. If you need to go higher to keep that concave upper back, take your hands onto your bricks, but shoulders away from the ears so that you gather that dorsal thoracic area, that thread that I showed you. Visualize that ribbon coming together so that from here you can lengthen, extend the back of the neck. Head in neutral. Close your eyes. Press the outer feet firmly into the floor. Draw up the inner arches of the feet, the inner ankles. Draw up the knees, the thighs. And lengthen the sternum forwards. Broaden the collarbones. Remember last week the work of rotating the inner upper arms out, the shoulders moving into the shoulder joint to open, lengthen, extend the armpits. Prasarita Padottanasana. Bring your hands under your shoulders, root down through your palms, toe heel your feet together, put your hands on your hips and come standing up. Step your feet together. Tadasana. Coming back to center, gather yourself together and for a moment just allow the breath. Let the breath follow its own course as you check in. How does the breath feel after these poses? Is there still that sense of inner contentment, that joy, that santosha? So, from there, we're going to get involved more so in that dorsal thoracic connection. Turn your bricks towards the wall and step closer to the wall so that your forearms are horizontal, your upper arms vertical, and press your hands into the wall. Shoulders away from the ears, that concave upper back as you stand in a variation of Tadasana. Now root down through your right foot and step your left leg back as far as you possibly can. Turn the heel in and the toes subtly out. Draw this outer right hip. I'm going to demonstrate with the other leg so that you can see that this outer hip wants to draw back, and as if you're going to take it to the wall behind you. And just like you were doing earlier on in Uttanasana, press your hands into the wall, shoulders away from the ears as you retract your upper arms into the shoulder socket. Now dig that dorsal thoracic into the back. Press into the ball mound of your right big toe and draw your outer right hip back. It's like an elastic band that you're stretching. The more you press into the big toe, the more you can retract that hip back. Dorsal thoracic into the back. And then inhale, step your foot forward. Come and stand once more in that variation of Tadasana. Root down through the mound of your left big toe and step your left leg back. Pressing into that mound of the left big toe, draw your outer left hip back. Lengthen the shoulders, shoulder blades broadly down the back body. Settle the dorsal into the back. Lengthen your sternum forwards. And come back to the breath. Breathing in, up that sternum bone. Breathing out all the way down the back body. Back of the neck long, soft. Head passive, quiet. As you root down through the soles of the feet, draw the knees, the thigh muscles firmly up. Inhale. Step forwards. Be in that variation of Tadasana. Once more. Step your left leg back. Root down through the mound of that right big toe. And for those of you that can keep this dorsal thoracic deep into the back, now start to walk your hands down. Can you take your hands to the brick? If this upper back pops up, stay where you were. Most importantly, of primary importance, is this concave upper back, so that the heart center at all times remains spacious, open. For those of you that can take the bricks down a little more, do so. Concave upper back. Then you can even walk the hands back, rooting down, scrubbing the hands forward. Lengthen the sternum forwards. Can you bring your chin to your shin? Press the heels down. Lift the knees, the thighs. Shoulders away from the ears, dorsal in. Even if your head doesn't come to your shin, concave upper back. Bring your hands to your bricks, to the wall. Inhale, come up. Step your left leg forward and the other leg. Step your right leg back. As best possible, make that distance the same as it was. Draw that outer left hip back by rooting down through the mound of the left big toe. Concave upper back. Shoulders away from the ears. If you can, come down. Walk your bricks forward, taking the bricks lower if possible. But the minute you lose it, come back to the stage before. If you can, take your hands further back, walking them as far back as you possibly can, as if you're scrubbing the fingers forward. It allows the shoulders to draw back. Dorsal in, lengthen the sternum and then rest your shin. If the shin's not ready to come down, then just long back neck. Head passive, breathe. Knees up. Lock the knees. Bring your hands forward. Step your right leg forward. Come up. Tadasana. Okay. Bricks out of the way. Come stand back. Tadasana. Feet together. As you root down through the 4 points of the feet, draw the arches up. Knees up, thighs up, spine up. Shoulders, shoulder blades, upper buttocks down. Parvottanasana. Bring your finger to First of all, I'm going to face backwards. Swing your arms behind your back, and now your hands come into Paschimottanasana Namaskar. There's that drawstring area where the little finger's resting on the back. Broaden the collarbone, shoulders roll down the back body as you squeeze your elbows together. If this is not possible, and you find that this is happening, rather for today, fold the elbows. This will allow you to access that area. So either Paschimottanasana Namaskar or having the elbows folded. Feet together. Inhale, jump or step your feet apart. Turn your left toes, foot well in, spiraling that hip to face forwards, pressing to your right foot, turn the right leg out. Just like you were doing earlier on at the wall, root down through that mound of the right big toe, draw your outer right hip back. Inhale, dig that dorsal thoracic into the back and look up, arch the back like you're going to do a deep back bend, keeping the length to the sternum. Exhale, hinge all the way forward, coming into that right angle for a moment. Pause. If this is as far as you go, stay here. Roll the shoulders back, dorsal in, concave upper back, go all the way down. Parvottanasana. Parvos flank, so make the sides of the body equal, long. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head forwards to come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Pause, gather yourself together. Turn your right leg well in, press into the left heel, turn your left leg out. Press into the mound of the left big toe, draw that outer left hip up, root it back. Dorsal spine in, arch up and back. Inhale, lengthen the sternum, lengthen the front body, taking it forward. Pause at the right angle. Redig that dorsal into the back. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze your elbows together. Press those palms into Paschimo Namaskar. Paschimo's waist, the back body, and then lengthen forwards. Long sternum, open heart center as that dorsal becomes more and more concave. With an inhalation, lengthen up. Exhale, turn forwards. Just like we did Prasarita Padottanasana earlier on. Hinge forward once more. Lift your head, look forward. For those of you that are struggling, release and take your arms forward, just like you did earlier on. For those of you that can stay with your hands in Paschimo Namaskar, release the crown of the head, placing it down. For those of you that can't reach the floor, just be hovering there. But root down through the soles, 4 points of the feet, draw the arches up, inner thighs, inner knees to outer thighs. Shoulders roll back, squeeze your elbows towards each other. Breathe. Let the breath settle as the base of the skull releases off the top of the spine. Find a sense of ease and quiet. Sattvik, inner contentment, joy with what is right now, this breath, this moment. Root down through the 4 points of the soles of the feet. Lift the inner ankles, inner knees. Extend the trunk forwards. Come up. Step your feet together. Come back. Tadasana. From here, we're going to take the belt, lying down. Just for a moment, put the belt alongside you. Come and lie with the legs bent, feet on the floor. Draw your knees up. Interlock your fingers around the middle of the shin bone and draw your legs towards you. Remember, if knees are an issue, you put your hands behind the back of the knees so the knee joints remain open. Don't put pressure on the knee. Draw the legs towards you, allowing the whole of the lumbar spine and the lower back to press into the floor. And then take your hands to the head of the shin bone. Draw the legs down, just seeing the difference between one space and another, where it affects the back more or less. And then release. Take your belt. And for today, just open the belt. Put the belt around almost the back of the ball of the foot, Widen your elbows so that your elbows, your upper arms rest to the floor, and bring your right leg as close to the vertical as you possibly can. So if it's there, rather have the leg absolutely ramrod straight. So I'm going to raise my right leg now, so we're doing the same leg. Open the back of the knee as you draw the thighs up, front thigh to back thigh. Keeping your right leg absolutely stable, extend your left leg along the floor. Draw your outer right hip to your left heel and settle the lower back. All of that sacroiliac area, feel it resting, opening into the floor, so that if any tension might have built up there, let it go. Relax the shoulders into the floor. Feel how naturally there's that gentle drawstring action in the dorsal thoracic the minute you relax your shoulders. And bending up your legs, swap round, left foot into the belt. Bend your right leg for a moment as you set up your left leg. Open the back of the knee by drawing the thigh muscles up. And extend your right leg away from you. As the legs settle, as the lower back, the shoulders settle, can you invite the breath to settle? And release, bend your legs once more. Draw your legs towards you, and this time recalling was middle of the shin, was head of the shin, better for your back. Just take whatever works best for you for today. Interlock your fingers the other way. And rest your back deep into the floor. Rest the shoulders. Release, put your feet on the floor. Grip the edge of your sticky mat with your hands and pull your hands down towards the end, the bottom end of your sticky mat, so that you slide, you scrub your spine up towards the crown of the head. Feel the lower back rest into the floor. Keep it there with your legs bent. Take your hands to your shoulders and roll your elbows towards the wall above your head, so that with your fingers, move my bricks, with your fingers you can tuck your shoulders underneath you. Take your shoulder blades down your back like you're going to put the elbows to the floor. Keep the shoulders releasing away from the ears, shoulder blades onto the back, and take your arms to about 45 degrees. Relax your shoulders. Keeping the lower back long, step your legs away from you. Pull through the heels. Inner, outer heel, draw away from you. Relax your legs. Let the eyes softly melt close to the back of the head. Inner eyes releasing to the brain stem. Outer eyes melting to the temples. And now as you inhale, feel as if you allow the breath to begin in that dorsal thoracic, radiating upwards, outwards with the in-breath. And as you exhale, allow the sides of the navel to surrender through that lower back into the earth. Deep inhalation from the dorsal through the heart center, opening outwards, upwards. Soft, long exhalation, surrendering the sides of the navel back into the earth. And as you surrender to this quiet place, space of Savasana, let go even the breath. Let go completely. Keeping your eyes closed, gradually, gently allow the inhalation once more to become vast, spacious. As you breathe in, allowing the heart center to spread open, upwards, outwards. And soften the sides of the navel as you breathe out. Roll your legs towards each other, one by one. Bend your legs, place the feet on the floor. Extend your right arm over your head and roll completely onto your right. Rest your left arm into the floor in front of you as you rest your right temple onto the right upper arm. Let the breath settle back to its normal rhythm. And now rolling a little further to the front body, press down with your hands. Come sitting. Fold the palms into Atmanjali Mudra. Surrender the mind to the heart. Bow your head to your heart, saluting your own Guru within, that innate wisdom and knowing, sense of gratitude for the breath, for the body, the mind. Namaste.